Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kara Melendi, and I'm here with your cosmic update, specifically taking a look at some of the energies that are surrounding the full moon in Gemini. So this did happen November 23rd at 12:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm a little late checking in with this, but everything that I'm going to share with you today is completely relevant, and I really felt called to still share this powerful message that is coming through around this full moon, and that is really carrying us through the rest of 2018. And I feel these energies, they're definitely paving the way right now for what 2019 is going to look like from an energetic standpoint, and some of those cosmic shifts, and even paving the way to the new moon that we're going to see in December. So as you jump on, say hi below. Good morning, Laura. Great to have you. And Jacqueline Lamorla. Kelpin, hello, Betsy, welcome. Definitely say hi, share this out if you're feeling called to do so. I believe the title that I put on this is When I Let Go of What I Am, I Become What I Might Be. And I feel that really captures the essence of the energy of this full moon. And anytime there's a full moon, it is that invitation to look at what I need to release, what I need to let go of. And if we're manifesting by following these lunar cycles, at the new moon, we set our intentions. So we put our vibration out there of what we want to call in, what we want to create, what we want to attract. And then the full moon, we check in. And it's a time where we see things come to fruition in our life. It's also an amplifier. And this can also be why people feel really sensitive and emotional around the full moon. So I'd also love to hear from you. What has your experience been like with these energies? Do you find it's been like an emotional time for you? Do you find you've had new insights coming in? It's always an amplifier of what's going on in our life. It brings it to the surface so we can look at it and we can choose what we want to release, right? Because when we are consciously aware, that's where our power is. And that's where we then have a choice on the direction that we continue to go. So more than ever, I feel this full moon really is bringing things up and asking you, who are you today? Who is the person that you want to be? What are your values? What are you sharing with the world? How are you showing up? And opposite this full moon, and even today as I do this video, we have even a closer conjunction today between the sun and Jupiter in the sign of Sagittarius. So we really are at a time where we are opening up to new adventures. And I feel many people are feeling and tapping into that excitement of knowing something big is going to happen. Like, I'm feeling the excitement. I'm feeling these opportunities come in. I know a new path is opening up for me. And to fully step into that, there's a part of us that has to detach from our old identity, that has to detach from the old stories so we can go on this new adventure. And that's what Sagittarius energy is, right? It is that adventure. Hi, Jamie. Good morning. And Betsy. Hello, Goddess. Donna, good morning. Samantha. All right, cool. Let's see who else we have joining us here. So say hi as you're jumping on. Also share with me below too. I love doing this around the full moon. What are you releasing? What are you letting go of? And I will hold that energetic space for you. So let's start by taking a look at the Gemini energy, since that is where the full moon is, in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini in astrology is represented by the twins, and it's a very fun and playful energy. It's like the curiosity of a child. And with the full moon in Gemini, whether or not you're a Gemini yourself, whether this energy is prominent in your chart, for us all, it is this invitation to open up and have that curiosity of a child, always seeking, always asking questions, always wanting to learn new things, right? Always wanting to really like expand and grow and acquire knowledge for the pure joy and of knowledge alone, right? That is the Gemini energy, and it governs over the throat chakra. So it's also about communication. It's about sharing what we learn. It's about passing this information on. And any Geminis that I've known in my life, there's always this playfulness to them, and they tend to love to like create all these fun facts of information and then like share them with the people in their life. And it's really playful and fun. And it is that time to look in our own life as well of where we may have closed off, right? Where we may have closed off and gotten stuck in a pattern of belief or in a perspective or a way of seeing the world that just really isn't serving us anymore. It isn't resonating anymore. Like, our life experience really is all about the stories that we've created for ourselves. the beliefs that we hold. And Gemini rules over that as well. What are the beliefs we're carrying around? What are the stories that we're telling ourselves? And looking at what's working about that and what isn't anymore. And letting go, right? As I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And there can be some fear around success too. And it sounds so funny. Anytime I do like a releasing or a clearing with clients around this fear of success, there's always a little bit of resistance. Like, I don't think I have fear of success. I have a fear of failure. But fear of success is actually quite common because we fear if I do step into this new identity, this new version, keeping up with this like expanded part of who I am, we fear what that'll look like. We can be afraid of how it'll change our relationships, how it'll change our lives. It may be being more visible, being more authentic, being more vulnerable, and all those things can trigger fears. So that energy is really coming up around this full moon as well, and then giving us this opportunity to clearly look at what is the resistance and fear that I may be holding on to that's stopping me from achieving success in my life, however you define that. And of course, I encourage you to really define success on your terms. Thank you for the love, the hearts. It's always cool to see the heart bubbles popping up. I appreciate that. Jacqueline is feeling emotional, lots of changes, new job, moving, purchased a car. Oh, wow, lots of cool things. Really feels like a new adventure in my life, letting go of old patterns, leaving a lot behind. Yes. And it really is that feeling, right, of like this new adventure. And what's really contributing to that is this opposition. So when there's a full moon, we always have the sun opposite the full moon. And right now we have the sun and Jupiter opposite the moon in Gemini in the sign of Sagittarius. So it really is about that energy as well of like seeking higher truth, seeking higher consciousness, right? Expanding our mind, expanding, you know, the stories that we've told ourselves to really kind of transcend those limitations and to allow ourselves to be on the new adventures that are opening up for us. All we have to do energetically is open up to receive that and say we're available for that, right? Like energetically put that out to the universe. And when we align our energy with that, our actions change as well, right? We take different action steps. And throughout this year, this has been such a big time of shadow work for people, a lot of releasing. We've had Jupiter in Scorpio for most of the year, now in Sagittarius. We had Venus retrograding in Scorpio. So that's like digging really deep and looking at who we are, what we value, how we're showing up, if we're living in alignment with our higher self, what we know in our heart to be true. And now we're at a place where we are being called to take some action steps to put those changes into practice. So now that we're starting to gain some of that clarity on where we want to be, how we want to show up, releasing. I know a lot of people had major shifts in relationships this year as well, and just realizing that relationships that were compatible in the past maybe aren't working anymore. So it's been a releasing of that as well, and now we're called to put these new changes into place. So let me know if this resonates. And yeah, let me know if this resonates or if there's questions coming up around this. If you just jumped in, share as well. What are you releasing? What are you letting go of in this amazing full moon energy? Okay, hello, hello, Alicia, welcome. Oh, good morning. Happy full moon, Daphne. Great to have you here. Welcome, welcome. So definitely say hi if you're jumping in. I think I saw Monica there as well. Hello, goddess. All right, so I've got my laptop here on the side and I have the chart pulled up for today. So I'm gonna take a look and see what else is going on and what other energies to tap into. Okay. So we talked a little about this Gemini energy, which is about communication. Also a good time to release any blockages in the throat chakra as well. So if you're feeling fear around speaking your truth, and maybe, you know, you're an entrepreneur and you're holding back a little bit in sharing your true message, this is an amazing time to release any fear or resistance around this. Or maybe it's showing up in your relationships where you really feel in your heart there's something you have to say that you've been holding back. This Gemini full moon is the time to really speak your truth, right? All those things related to the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is very much linked as well to the power chakra, because there's a sense of empowerment when we feel we're able to step up and we're able to speak our truth and say, you know, what's on our mind, what we're feeling, who we really are. So that's a big part of this full moon energy. And interestingly, we have Mercury retrograde right now. So Mercury rules over Gemini. So it is the ruler of this full moon energy. And with Mercury retrograding, the way that we're looking at communication right now and the way that we're kind of synthesizing our ideas, that shifts as well. And looking at these other cosmic energies, what I'm feeling is it really is this time to trust and listen to your intuition. Because anytime Mercury goes retrograde, we may feel like we don't have all the details that we need in order to fully move forward. The shadow side of some of this Gemini energy is just feeling like we're being really scattered and we're pulled in all of these different directions. So the best thing you can do is align and trust where your intuition is guiding you. And this is a different way of navigating the world. Like, we need that Gemini energy, which is about the intellect, which is about logic, which is about looking at the details and then making the decisions. But we also need the intuitive component, right? We need to know what feels aligned for us. And that's what we're learning to draw on right now as we move forward. And the cosmic energies are really asking, are you trusting yourself? Are you trusting that you actually do have the answers within? Are you trusting that when something feels right for you, it feels expansive? It feels like an invitation to move forward. When something feels off, it feels contractive. And this is a question I get from a lot of the women that I work with. I know I've looked at this in my own life, like that question of when is it intuition that's guiding me, or when is it fear, like my fear mind, right? Or my ego. And intuition and fear speak to us in very different ways. Like fear very much, it's related to that inner critic feeling. So when we're in a place of fear, we're making decisions from that place, you may find that you're sinking back into like the old stories and old patterns, that inner critic, that voice in your head may be re-emerging again. Intuition doesn't have fear attached to it. Intuition is simply like a calling or an invitation to go in this direction. And there's not a lot of room for the stories or emotions behind it. It's simply the guidance that we feel. So let me know if that resonates and if that's been your experience with listening to your intuition as well. And the more that you see it in that way, the easier it is for you to really follow your intuitive impulses, because it's just in flow and you can easily say, all right, intuition doesn't sound like my inner critic. It doesn't sound like my limiting beliefs. It just feels like the truth. It just feels expansive, even if like logically it doesn't make sense or I don't really know why I'm being guided this way. Intuition is just that clear invitation to, yes, take action here. So let me know if that's resonating with you. Hi, Jackie. Welcome, beautiful. Okay, let me catch up on some of these questions here. Jacqueline saying, so true about relationships. Yeah, a year of major shifts in our relationships. And it's just really trusting too, like sometimes relationships, they serve their sole purpose, right? Just because a relationship ends, whether it's romantic or a friendship, it doesn't mean it didn't have a really beautiful purpose in your life. It just means that maybe that soul mission and what you came here this time to do together, to create together, has now shifted or changed. And that's why it's been a major theme, because a lot of us are going on this new adventure, right? Sun, Jupiter, and Sagittarius, these new opportunities are opening up. And the people that are coming into our life right now, or the maybe even people from the past that are re-emerging, we're going to have these deeper connections with them right now. And they do serve a very karmic purpose as well. So basically trust, anytime trust that relationships or things that are fading away in your life, they've served their purpose. And it's creating space for you now to receive the new. And that can be new relationships that are really soul aligned as well and serve your soul path and mission at this time. Okay. Alicia, I'm trying best to release the guilt that I'm experiencing around my personal and career growth and moving in new directions. I struggle with the fears of disappointing people during my time of change. So holding that beautiful space for you to release with ease, for sure. And it's something I've been working on and really telling myself in my own life and seeing how this unfolds is that, if something isn't working for me, whether that's in a relationship or any area in my life, it can be a client relationship too, with friends or romantically, it's not serving the other person either. Like if we're not in line with our truth and where we're being called, there's no way that's going to serve the people around us. So the more that we realign with what feels right for us, the more we're actually serving other people on our soul path too. So let me know if that is resonating. Jamie, that's resonating so much. Beautiful. Dahlia is feeling the Sag, let go now, pull. However, there is also a feeling of regroup first, then go. Why the feeling of these opposites, resistance? That's a good question. And it goes back to any time there is a full moon, there is an opposition, right? There's an opposition between two opposing signs, the moon in Gemini and the sun right now in Sagittarius. And oppositions do create this feeling of a pull. It's like we're pulled in different directions. In Gemini, it's so cool how you explain this, Dahlia, because Gemini is about, let me gather all the information, let me regroup, let me get all the facts. And Sagittarius is like, no, let's just go. Let's just go on this next adventure. And what we want to do with oppositions is learn how to work with them together. And this is where really trusting your intuition comes into play. So really trust for you, is it impulsive to take action at this time? Because again, impulsivity and following your inner guidance system, those are two different things as well. When we're impulsive, we're actually not really connected to our intuition. We're acting without really being in alignment. But intuition, again, we're in that sense of alignment. So we want to work with these opposing energies together and know in our own life, when do I have enough information and it's now time for me to act, it's time for me to move forward? Or when is it maybe I do need to pause a little bit? And it's just being honest with ourselves. And if taking that pause is happening out of fear of moving forward, or taking that pause, taking that time to regroup and reflect is actually what's in alignment and what is in my highest and best good right now. So I hope that helps a little bit and gives some clarity on that. Hi, Tanya, how are you? Monica's releasing attachment to expectation of the results of personal actions, accept the move forward. Beautiful, be proactive and notice what needs to be done to change outcomes without attachment. Holding that space for you, Monica. Thank you for sharing. That is beautiful. And that's the key with manifestation. It's like we focus on how we show up, we focus on the process, but we have to release any attachment to what the outcome is going to be. And that's where the surrender comes in. And that's actually a key component to successful manifestation. If we're too attached to the outcome, then, it screws it up, basically. Like it brings in all these limiting beliefs. It brings in all this resistance. So focus moment by moment. Am I aligned? Am I showing up? Am I taking the inspired action? And be open to all the beautiful, amazing ways that what you desire can come to you and be delivered to you. Okay, let's see any more questions here. So also, if you're wanting to book a personal reading, I did open up spots to finish off the year. This is an excellent time to really look at what's in the cosmos for you in the year to come. So basically, how are these transits, how are these changes personally affecting your chart, and how can you harness this energy for optimal manifestation? How can you work in harmony with it? So I know a lot of people have been reaching out and gifting astrology readings as like Christmas gifts too, which is really cool. That's my kind of gift. Anytime I get a gift from somebody that's like a massage or a reading, I'm like, yes, I love this. So definitely reach out if you're feeling called to learn more about what's in your chart, how to harness that energy, and also just how to prepare for the remainder of this year and into 2019 based on these cosmic shifts and what area of your life they're impacting and where you're being called this year. Hi, Karen. Hello, Emily. Oh, I'm well. Thank you, Emily. Sending love to you. So let me just take one more look at this chart and see what else here. What else is going on? Okay. So this is neat. We have Mars in Pisces right now, which is kind of adding to, again, this message that's coming through to stay in alignment and to really trust your intuition as you move forward. Not that there's not a place for collecting the details and the facts, but cosmically speaking right now, we're kind of strengthening our faith, like having faith, which is another key component in manifesting. Once we put the desire out there, we have to have faith that it's going to be delivered. We have to have faith that we are deserving, that we are worthy, that what we desire, if you stay locked into that vision, it can't help but come to fruition. So cosmically, we're asked to really step in and have that faith right now. And Mars is the planet that drives our actions. It's what motivates us when it's hanging out in the sign of Pisces. It is that connection to the spiritual realm as well. And I feel that ties it together. It's like we need this knowing that, yes, I'm a physical body. Of course, I have an ego and my personality that helps me navigate this human experience, but I'm so much more than that as well. I'm also a spiritual being. And Mars in Pisces, when used in its highest form of expression, is really tapping in to the possibilities that kind of exist even outside of the rational mind. It's like tapping into these other dimensions. It's transcending any of the limitations that we can create for ourselves as we come into this physical body and have experiences and collect belief systems. Mars in Pisces is like, dream bigger, think outside the box, lock into the infinite possibilities that await you and call that in. So this is actually a really beautiful energy right now. So if you are, I know some people said, yeah, and I'm just reading Emily as I was about to say this, feeling super sad today. Yeah, you know what? Full moon energies can do that. They're amplifiers. They bring up emotions. So I'm sending tons of love to you, Emily, and virtual hugs sent your way. And know you're not alone in that. Full moons can be an emotional time. And sometimes it's just loving and accepting ourselves, right? It's like there's a part of it that's allowing ourselves to release what isn't working in our lives, and then there's a time to just feel into how we're feeling without creating a story around it or judging it, and just allow that energy to shift and move through us. Because, and I think especially like as light workers and healers, and we're so connected to the collective as well, and we're feeling like there's major shifts happening. And with that, anytime we're in a process of change and transformation, there is kind of a grieving process in the sense to fully move into this next stage, this next identity, this next path. There's something within us that we first have to let go of and have to release. So let me know if that resonates too, Emily. Sometimes it's our own life, and sometimes, right, as empaths, we're also, it's like we're releasing and we're healing for the collective as well. So there's a lot we're processing, there's a lot that we're picking up on, and it's just knowing, right? Energy flows. Our emotions don't define who we are. They come and go, and they can help guide us on our experience. But it also goes back to that idea of Mars and Pisces, which is about, let's transcend that as well. So it's like honoring where I am, honoring what I'm feeling, but no, there's so much more to me than just how I am feeling in any given moment, right? I'm more than my emotions, basically. Okay, Donna, speaking your truth, acceptance, and letting go. That's been the common theme. Yeah, I love it. So aligned with this, the full moon energy, right? It is. It's about speaking your truth, letting go, acceptance. Exactly what you said. You summed that up beautifully. Karen, releasing the past and fully putting it to rest. Beautiful. Holding that space for you. So if you're on the replay as well, share what you're releasing, share what you're letting go with. I'll hold that energetic space. Yeah, and if you want a private reading, I have opened up spots. I'd love to explore the cosmos with you and help you harness this energy for manifestation and just gain a deeper understanding too. Like, often if we're feeling like major transitions in a certain area of our life, it is showing in our chart big time. And it can help just knowing that, okay, like I'm on track, even if it feels like I'm not. It's like I'm in this time of transformation, and it can help you see the beautiful doors that are opening up for you. And astrology is like this beautiful representation of the different cycles and rhythms of nature and that we go through in our life. And it teaches us to really just go with the flow, and that we can't, you know, it's no need to resist it. Resistance doesn't change what's happening. It just puts us in a space of feeling very anxious. So the more we surrender, so that's been a theme that's come through this live as well, trust, surrender. And it really just goes back to that initial quote that I love by Lao Tzu. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So take a look at what that means to you. Feel into that. I am sending so much love and light to you all, sending lots of full moon blessings, and I will see you very soon.